Yeah.
Started like this, and she like scans it, and she's like.
He'll probably just think it's a real dog, like that one.
Take two. No.
Ready? As a parent, we want the best for our children, and we try to provide them with the best that we can. As soon as a child is born, they start to absorb everything that they see and they hear, which is why it's very important that parents provide them with good things to absorb, especially reading. Reading to your children or your future children at a young age can benefit them in many ways. It can be a very enjoyable experience if it is done often enough for you and your child. Like I said, parents want the best. They want the best curriculum, the best schools, the best teachers. But what parents need to understand is that parents are actually the child's very first teacher. The children learn to see and do everything that the parent does. It's kind of like a monkey see, monkey do. Reading to them is very important, which is why it's very important for parents to understand why it is essential to read to them at a very young age. Reading enhances understanding color, shape, letters, and objects. And also, according to Elder, a study done by the Melbourne Institute of Applied Economic and Social Research indicated that if you read to a child between the ages of 4 and 5, 3 to 4 times a week, it actually makes them advance by about 6 months in a reading level. And if you read to them about 6 to 7 times a week, it advances them almost a whole year, as opposed to kids that don't get read to as much. Also, according to raisesmartkid.com, it is more likely that children will be more academically successful because it'll allow them to focus on other subjects as opposed to trying to put words and sentences together like most elementary kids try to do if they are read to often enough. Reading also enhances a child's basic speech and communication skills. Reading aloud reinforces the basic sounds that form language, according to earlymoments.com, and it also enhances pre-literacy activity, which is when a toddler sits and flips through the pages of a book and mumbles. They understand that the letter or the words in the book make sounds and in sentences, they just don't understand how. So as they start to get a little bit older and start to put together what the ABCs are and that they form words, they start to realize that they form sentences, and that's where reading comes from. Another big benefit is that reading actually allows children to express themselves better. This is because they see the interaction between the characters. For example, if a character is mad at a different character, they see the way that the situation develops, and they start to put those situations into their own life. Also, because they have that special time with the parent, they start to actually form a bond, which allows them to start to feel a little bit more comfortable to express their feelings with the parents. Like I said, reading enhances a bond between the parent and the child, which is really important. Reading is quality time, according to Randerson, between the parent and the child. And according to Stone, it's a time to focus on nothing but your child and yourself. It allows you to give a private little moment for you and your child to just kind of break down your day or express any kind of feelings that the child may have. And according to Stone and RIF.org, it is recommended that you read to your children separately, simply because you want to give each child their own quality time, even if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the day. But if you can't, if it's a time constraint, if it's just you don't have the time or you're just too tired, it's perfectly acceptable to read to your children together. And it is found that sometimes reading to them together actually forms a bond between the siblings as well. Other benefits include increased attention span. This is because your child learns to sit throughout the storytelling. Of course, when they're toddlers or when they're little, they might not sit through the whole story. However, they do start to increase their attention span and start to focus as they start to enjoy the storytelling more. It also increases their imagination and their curiosity. What happens a lot of times is that children tend to focus on a certain subject. For example, transportation. They sometimes want to just read books about cars, planes, or trains, which is perfectly acceptable. And they also start to build relationships better. Because like I said, they start to see the interaction between the characters, so they see the way that they interact in the stories, and they apply that to their own life. One thing to consider is being really patient with your children. What will happen a lot of times is that children will want to read the same exact book every single night. Close the door, please. They will want to read the same book every single night, which is just sparking a curiosity in them. There might be a certain character, a certain subject, a certain story that they just want to read over and over, and until that curiosity is done with, it's perfectly acceptable to read the same book every night. A fun way to spruce things up is just buying new books or renting new books from the library and allowing the children to be part of the picking process. This way you can tell the way or the books that they want to read, the subjects that they want to read. Mommy, go in your room, please.
Keep going.
Anyway, the way that, like I said, allowing them to be part of the picking process allows them to show you what kind of subjects that they like, what kind of stories, what kind of characters, what kind of books. So it allows them to interact with you a little bit more. There is really no recommended exact amount of time that you should read to your children in a week or in a day. The more that you read to them, the better. Like I said, if you read to them 6 to 7 times a week, they're more likely to be about a year advanced in a reading level. In conclusion, I would like to persuade you all to read to your children now or to your future children because there are many benefits. It increases their vocab, their speech, and it advances them educationally. And it also forms a really big bond between the parent and the child and allows them to have a special connection and a special time for them.
Did you stop it?